Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Vritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva manusandadhami Bhagvad Gite Bhavadveshinim. O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadguru. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, our reading from the 14th Adhyaya of Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, the yoga of liberation through sannyasa, liberation through tyaga, liberation through renunciation by giving up. And Sri Krishna has been beautifully explaining to us the different types of the renunciations, the different types of tyaga, different types of the giving up. The tamasic type, the rajasic type, and the sattvika type that he has already explained to us. The tamasic type is where people, they just avoid doing any work. They just don't like doing any work. They want to run away from doing the works because they are not tuned to that. If some work comes to them by force, by grudge, they will somehow start doing the work, but maybe they will abandon it halfway through and then they say, this is not my cup of tea. That is the tamasic type. They try to run away. The rajasic types, they are very shrewd people. Sri Krishna says that their tendency is to avoid work, of course, not to do work, but they look at it from the selfish point of view. If there is any gain for me while doing that work, I will do it. If that work is to my liking, I will do it. If that work is going to get me the things that I desire, I will do it. Otherwise, I will run away. If that work is going to create any pain for me, sorry, it is not my work. If that work is going to create any discomfort for me, I have to get out of my comfort zone. Sorry, that work is not for me, but for all the selfish gains. If anything is there in that work, they will try to do it. But still they will not do it in a selfless spirit, because their entire motive is the selfish interest attached in doing that work. Their entire focus is what I am going to get out of this work, that karma-phala. Their focus is only on that. Am I going to get something which is going to fulfill my desires of lust and greed? Then I will think of doing it. That is their attitude. That is the attitude of rajasic people. That is the attitude of rajasic people. They will avoid, they will tyaga the karma if it is not getting any selfish benefits. If it is not going to fulfill any selfish desires, then they will tyaga the karma. But they will not give up the desire of fruits from that karma. They will not give up. And that kind of tyaga then, that relinquishing the work, considering it is going to bring them discomfort, that is the rajasic tyaga. And that is the rajasic way of doing the work with all the selfish motive, what I am going to get out of it. And then Sri Krishna told us about the sattvika tyaga. Sattvika tendency people, they will never ever refuse to do any work. They will never try to run away from doing work. But what they will run away from? They will give up? They will give up the attachment to that work. They consider that work to be Lord's work. Lord has given me this opportunity that I will work on this. I have to do it. They won't remain attached. They won't be wedded to that work for that matter. Tomorrow, if they have to give up the work halfway through by the God's providence, they are not crying for that. Whatever is the work comes to them is God's work. Whatever work goes out of their hands is Lord's doing. So they don't remain attached to the work, and they do the real tyaga. They do the real tyaga of giving up the desire of fruits of the work. What I am going to get in return, that thought is never in their mind. That thought is almost absent for them, absent from their thinking process. What I am going to get, that doesn't remain true at all. And then Sri Krishna told us that these people, it is not that they keep on hating the work which is not to their liking. Na dveshti akushalam karma. Kushale na anushanjate. It is not that they start hating the work which is not to their liking, which they don't have sufficient expertise to do that work, or which the work that is not agreeable to them. They will not hate the work at all. Once they have this knowledge, once they have this realization that whatever work has to be done by me is the Lord's work that I am doing. Lord has chosen me to do this work. I am so fortunate for that matter. So they don't hate the work which is not to their liking, nor they get attached to the work. That anushanjate. They don't get attached to the work which is to their liking, which they are comfortable to do. It is not that, well, I am comfortable doing this, so I will keep on doing this work throughout my life. I will not do any other work. So there is no attachment even for the work which is agreeable to them. There is no hatred for the work which is not agreeable to them. That is the sattvic tendency in people, how they work. And then tyāgī sattva samavishto, that renouncer of the fruits of action, that renouncer of the attachment to the work, that renouncer of no hatred for the work which is not to their liking, that renouncer, that tyāgī sattva samavishto, is pervaded with the highest level of purity. Sattva samavishto medhavi chinna samshayah. That person is the most intelligent one. That person has the most balanced state of mind, the medhavi. And chinna samshaya, in the mind of that person, in the mind of that tyāgī, there is no doubt whatsoever, there is no confusion whatsoever, there is no delusion whatsoever, chinna samshaya. Those are the great personalities who do the work in this fashion. It is not that they hate the work they don't like. It is not they remain attached to the work that they like. But they do any work that has come on their lap. Any work that has come in their hands. They consider that work as the Lord's opportunity of me doing that work. Lord having chosen me to do that work. With that thought, with that intellect, with that balanced intellect, the medhavi, with that mental evolution, where there is no delusion, where there is no confusion, chinna samshaya, and sattva samavishta, the embedded, the seeped in the highest level of purity, these people. That is how they tyaga. They tyaga that feeling of attachment, they tyaga that feeling of even hatred of the disliked work or attachment to the liked work. So that is another aspect of the sattvika tyaga that Sri Krishna taught us in the 10th shloka. Now let us see in the 11th shloka what Sri Krishna further has to tell about the sattvika type of tyaga. Nahi deha-bhṛitā śhakyaṁ tyaktuṁ karmāṇy aśheṣhataḥ yastu karma-phala-tyāgī satyāgīty abhidhīyate. Sri Krishna says till the time Jivatman is embodied. Now, Atman basically is beyond doing any karma. There is no karma for Atman. But the moment Atman takes shelter in this body of flesh and bones, in this cage, it gets imprisoned in this deha. Deha-bhṛitā nahi śhakyaṁ tyaktuṁ karmāṇy aśheṣhataḥ. For the embodied one, it is impossible, Sri Krishna says. Nahi śhakyaṁ. It is just not possible for the embodied to give up the karma in totality. Aśheṣhana karmāṇy tyaktuṁ. Is impossible. To give up the karma in entirety is not possible at all for the embodied being. Till the time it is there, constantly some karma or other automatically goes on. And then Sri Krishna says, yaha tu karma-phala-tyāgī satyāgī abhidhīyate. And one who has renounced, who has given up the karma-phala. The renouncer, the sattvic tendency person who doesn't eye for what I am going to get after doing this karma. The one who has given up the attachment to the fruit of the karma, one who has even given up the desire of fruit of the karma. Yaha tu karma-phala-tyāgī satyāgī. That kind of tyāgī, that kind of renouncer, iti abhidhīyate. That is the true relinquisher. That is the true sannyasi. That is the true tyāgī, Sri Krishna says. One who has renounced the karma-phala. Otherwise, no, the simply saying I am giving up, I am giving up, I am giving up, that doesn't mean anything. One who has given up doing the karma itself is no tyāgī at all, Sri Krishna says. But the real tyāgī is one who has given up the desire for any fruits of action without relinquishing the karma. Because Sri Krishna says for the embodied one, the giving up of karma is just not possible, just not practical. Just think about it. Breathing is also karma. Now, in any tendency person for that matter, tamasic or rajasic or sattvic, sattvic anyway, he cannot give up the karma at all. But even the tamasic, can tamasic person think of, okay, I am giving up karma of breathing? The tamasic person at the idea of stopping the breath will get so terrified with that particular thought, my God, I am not going to breathe. I am not going to live. I am going to die. So, even for tamasic, some of the functions, the bodily functions, they cannot avoid at all, Sri Krishna says. That when the body is, when the Jivatman gets engaged in the body, automatically the bodily functions keep on, till the time the body lasts, the bodily functions cannot be stopped at all. We cannot stop breathing. We cannot stop our internal functioning, the blood flowing in our body, the heart pumping the blood. That is also karma, but we cannot stop that. Our heart cannot stop doing that karma of pumping blood in our body continuously, every moment. So these are the type of, that's the reason Sri Krishna says that for the embodied one, it is impossible to stop any karma. Bodily functions, of course, we cannot stop. Even the obligatory functions, we should never stop. That is what Sri Krishna says. We cannot stop eating. Eating, it is our bodily, our obligatory function for that matter. For that matter, worshipping is also our obligatory function. Thinking about the Lord is also our obligatory function, which we should never stop. But doing that obligatory function with the thought, what I am going to get in return. Suppose somebody takes up the work of doing japa and says, oh Lord, I am going to do 10,000 japa of your name, but I want this in return. Is that Is that a sattvic tendency in karma? No way. Or if the person says, oh Lord, you have not given me anything, I will stop doing that karma, and gives up the karma. Is that tyaga a sattvic tyaga? No. That tyaga would be then rajasic tyaga, because the person is not getting anything in return, and therefore the person is stopping the work. So Sri Krishna says that absolutely it is impossible. Nahi śhakyaṁ. Deha-bhṛitā nahi śhakyaṁ tyaktuṁ karmāṇy aśheṣhataḥ. Entirely giving up all the karmas is just impossible the moment the soul gets embodied, the Atman gets embodied. And then Sri Krishna says that, but yastu karma-phala-tyāgī tyāgīty abhidhīyate. But one who has renounced the karma-phala, one who has given up the desire for what I am going to get in return for doing this work, Sri Krishna says that person is considered to be the greatest of the tyagis, the greatest of the renouncers, the greatest of the relinquishers. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to renounce action entirely. But he who renounces the fruit of action is regarded as one who has truly renounced. That is the true renunciation. The giving up of fruit of action, giving up the desire to get something in return while doing any work. Whether that work is to our liking or not, that is different matter. Doing the work, whether to our liking or not liking, sincerely, dedicatedly, wholeheartedly, without expecting anything in return, that giving up, that tyaga of expecting anything in return is the greatest of the tyaga. That is what Sri Krishna tells in this 11th shloka of the 14th adhyaya, moksha sannyasa yoga. So Sri Krishna is telling us slowly what is required out of you. Not giving up of karma, but giving up attachment to the karma and giving up the association of what I am going to get. Giving up the desire of what I am going to get in return. Giving up that desire for karma-phala. That is the ultimate tyaga that Sri Krishna teaches us in this 11th shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swami.